perseverance and passion. And I'm a strong believer of these two words. Honestly, it happens so in an entrepreneurial journey. When you embark this journey of entrepreneurship, uh, there will be a lot of turbulence, you know. And one, it's the passion which helps you take this path of entrepreneurship, and I would say it's the perseverance which helps you keep you grounded and keeps you motivated about this idea of passion.
Hello, guys, welcome back to another mind blowing episode of the Jai Thakkar Show. Today, we have Sushant Sir. He's co founder and director of Adroit. He has been awarded with many awards, including Indian Business Leadership Conclave and Pharma Leadership Summit. He was also awarded with Emerging Entrepreneur Award at Ashwamedh, organized by Saturday Club, Global Trust, and many more awards. He holds bachelor degree in pharmacy and has done his MBA in marketing. He has proven marketing management track record and over 15 years of experience. He had worked with companies like Elder Healthcare Limited, MCure Pharmaceuticals, Piramal Healthcare, Abbott Healthcare, and many more companies. He has phenomenal experience, and his company, Adroid, is earning revenue more than 6 million US dollars, and he is growing phenomenally. I'm very honored and happy to have you on the show, sir.
Thank you very much, Jay. Thanks a lot for those kind words. It's my honor
Thank
to
you
be.
so much, sir. Thank you so much. So, sir, please tell us about how this journey of Adroit began. From you doing bachelor's in pharmacy, then doing MBA, to starting Adroit, to making it this big and growing and growing.
Right. So, Jay, it happened when I was pursuing my MBA. I always had this passion of starting something on my own. But I was very clear then that if I have to start on my own, I should have the necessary experience and exposure of the sector that we wish to enter into. And that's how, with that thought in mind, I started my professional career into pharmaceutical industry with companies like Elder, where I joined in as a management trainee, then moved to Emcure. Emcure was a choice that I made because I wanted to work with an industry stalwart by name Mr. Sainath Iyer. I've always wanted to work into his team. So I got this opportunity to work under his leadership, got to learn many things about marketing and sales from him. And then, Emcure being a Pune-based company, I always wanted to come back to my hometown, which is Mumbai. And I got an opportunity to work with Piramal. It was a dream come true. That's where I got entry into the dermo cosmetic market, where we are currently, Adroit is operational and we are doing extremely well in those markets. And Piramal, which was then taken over by Abbott. So I have got almost a 2 year stint with Piramal and 2.5 year stint with Abbott. So got a flavor of working both with Indian as well as the multinational company. So after a year or 7.5 years of industry experience, my partner Ajit, Ajit and me, we both of us pursued our pharmacy degree together. We happened to reconnect, and he was actually instrumental in reigniting the passion which I always had in my heart and my mind, that at some point of time during my professional tenure I should be starting on my own, and we should have our own enterprise. So that's how Ajit and me, we met together, and we had this idea of starting on our own. So that's where we started off with Adroit Digital Ideas, which was a medical marketing consultancy firm, and we were offering consultancy to almost all the pharmaceutical company. And we had a very, very good start. Thankfully, by God's grace, there were a lot of projects which we had then. And we started, and the journey then began. After 3 years of consultancy business, we realized that at the end of the day, we will be busy in building brand for other pharmaceutical companies, and we should be having our own brand. That's how we kind of graduated ourselves from Adroit Digital Ideas to Adroit Biomed Limited, which is now a pharmaceutical and dermocosmetic company, which we are having it. So that's about a journey of pre-Adroit to Adroit, my entrepreneurial journey. Thank you.
Superb, sir, superb. And the part you said that when you were consulting, you were like, we'll keep consulting and we'll keep building brands of others from the idea that okay, whatever ideas we have, penetrating them directly into the market by creating our own brand. You thought it would be more preferable rather than penetrating our ideas in market through filters of other brands. And also I have seen this ideology in many youngsters right now, like mostly people, they are like, they have this, I won't say grudge, but some sort of polarized idea or polarized mindset towards the entrepreneurship. Like, no, you just don't work for anyone, just start entrepreneurship, this and that. But you have created a droid. You just not have created it by your own self. Like, majority credit goes to you, but the kind of staff you have hired, the kind of work they have shown into the company, the kind of dedication they have shown, that also has one of the major reasons for Adroit's success. So, just coming to the small point, and want to take your answer on that uh, what are your views on this polarized mindset of, just don't work for someone, start your own thing, versus something, you self analyze, understand, because you were also employee for few years and then you created your own brand. So, like, what's your journey, what will be answer from your journey to this kind of polarized mindset?
See, I would not really say it's a polarized mindset. Let us say that there are two school of thoughts. One
Mm-hmm.
school of thoughts wherein you have professionals who are doing extremely well, who are working for mega brands. Okay, so they are also satisfied, and at some point of time they are very happy with the kind of work that they are doing. In okay,
Mm-hmm.
however, on the other side, the ideology that we follow is like to be on your own. Okay, nevertheless, if the country has to progress, we have to build many entrepreneurs like us. By this, what I'm trying to say, I'm not really, underestimating, or I'm saying that, you should be employee or you should be working for someone else. But what I'm trying to say is, if you really have that passion, followed by perseverance and conviction on your own idea, then I'm sure you're the right candidate to be an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, end of the day, there is a big risk which you're carrying for yourself. And as they say, that bigger the risk or higher the risk, higher the reward. That holds true, But some point of time, if you're traveling this entrepreneurial journey, you might be thrown across to a lot of ups and downs, lot of crest and trough, and how you handle those uh, failures and success, which comes through the journey, determines how strong you're going to be in this journey. As they say that for any business, any venture, you have to give 999 days. The biggest $1 million question is, are you really convinced about giving the 999 days of your life to the dream that you have set for yourself? If yes, you can be an entrepreneur. And if you really look at today, India as a country, the kind of growth that we are planning overall, building up a $5 trillion economy, that growth is going to come from entrepreneurship. You know, the major difference, if you look at India versus capitalist economy like US, why they're successful, you have the biggest brains of India working for building up US brands. So if we can get those talents into the country, which our country has tremendous potential and talent, I think we will be able to build up huge. So coming back to the point where I spoke about, it's having two different ideologies. It all depends on you as an individual. Honestly speaking, I'm a risk taker. I'm very convinced about few things, few ideologies, and innovation being the key, followed by perseverance, passion, okay, and the team belief. If you have all these things, I think you can really get started on your own, and you can really make it big through your entrepreneurial journey. It's all about the idea and the conviction. If you're convinced, I'm sure you can do it. Okay, so if you believe it, you can definitely do it.
True. So what I perceive from your answer is that, if you have if you have a solution to the problem you have seen in the society, and you are convinced that you'll be able to deliver it with the kind of with passion and perseverance, by putting it time, putting it risk, then you should definitely go for building an entrepreneurs, because that is what is required in country right now. And as soon as you become entrepreneur, you tend to understand that what kind of people should we hire, and what kind of people should we take in as partners and collaborate and work with. So there, like that's what I perceive from your answer. Please correct me if I'm wrong somewhere.
Yes. So just one point where you made in the beginning that if you're able to identify the problem and you're trying to figure out a solution through your venture, okay, then definitely you have an idea. Over there, I would just like to add that it all depends on, definitely, yes, how you identify the problem, what kind of a solution you build up for that problem, how innovative and differentiated approach. Now that's the key underlying message that I'm given. See, many a times it happens so that we have identified that this is the problem that my business venture will solve. Unless and until I'm able to figure out an innovative and differentiated solution towards that problem, chances are that you might not be successful the way you want it to be. So having that innovation, and innovation today is the key. It could happen to the product industry, it could happen to the service industry, a cusp of product and service industry, wherever you look at. But innovation is the key. And and I'm a strong believer of this philosophy that innovation is the key. In Adroit also, if you look at right from the day we have launched this venture till today, we have been chasing innovation. And I proudly go on record and say that, as a company, we are the company who have launched new and innovative product in the market, and we have made it big. So way back in 2013-14, we're the first company to come up with bolus dose of vitamin C. Okay.
Wow.
And today we proudly say that we're the third largest player of vitamin C in the country.
Wow.
And we have given, we are like, we have given a tough fight to companies like GSK, Abbott, and then, build up our own brand. We are the pioneers of glutathione in the country. So we got this glutathione molecule in the country. We partnered with a Japanese company called Cetria, and with them we have we got this. We have in-licensed Cetria glutathione in the country, and we have made Glutone as the number one brand of glutathione in the country. And very proudly, I say that we're the only company who have got oral moisturizer. Now that's something innovative. So the key point which I'm trying to make over here is innovation is definitely going to be the key.
100%. Like this I learned in my internship as well. Like in the university where I'm studying, we were like this internship was in our course where we have to go and work in an NGO for 45 days as an internship. So like first year students were given internship in social work, the NGO sector. So I went there in an NGO sector, and there we interns were asked to create a project plan for the kind of problem you've identified in the society, especially for youths, as the organization was working for youths. We selected a problem that there's a problem for unemployment in youth, and we made a program of skill enhancement and everything. And then there was the members of organization. They were about to review our proposal. They were like, the idea is good, the kind of work you are trying to do is good, but the way you have proposed it, or the way you want it to be done, is not that innovative that someone will firstly either trust you, or second, the someone will even think of investing something in you, let it be your product if you're doing an entrepreneurship, or as an investor or donor in the company or the organization you are running through. So I think that one of the major learning I can relate to the point you said is that you may have the idea, you may have solution, but you also need to understand the market in terms of executing it, so that people can put their faith and trust in you.
Yes, to some extent, but faith and trust to some extent, that's an integral part. If you're not trusted, nobody would like to work with you. Nobody will invest in your idea. So these are some cardinal principles, I would say, of entrepreneurship of our life that matters. You have to be true to yourself. You have to be trustworthy. So without that, you don't stand a chance at all. Now, what you're trying to talk about is in innovation. I would go one step ahead of what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Not a solution, but overall as a concept, overall as a business model. Whether your business model is innovative, it's differentiated. Now that's very much, very. It's a key to understand. Okay, your model has to stand out of that cluttered market. The solution has to be differentiated. Now these are few things which I would like to yeah, and definitely yes, how you execute it also does matter a lot. Yeah.
Sure, sure. So, sir, coming back to your story of creating Android, we reached to the point where you told about your story of story before or story till you created Android. So, like the kind of points which we got from your journey, I would like to understand more about these points through your journey from starting Android to reaching it to the level it is, and the kind of growth and the kind of rate which it is growing now.
Yeah. So as I told you, it was a well scripted business plan that we had in place. As I told before, coming up with a healthcare and pharmaceutical business, we were doing consultancy, and that's where we realized that we would be building up brands for other companies, and we will not be actually creating value for ourselves. So that's how we graduated to Adroit Biomed Limited. So idea was very clear. We will identify the gaps which are currently existing in the market, and we will offer new and innovative solutions into the market. So that was a key principle, whereas just mentioned about the brands that we have launched in, which were innovative, and that's been our strength all the while. Thankfully for us, me and Ajit, we have very very complementary skill sets. Ajit is a hardcore technical guy who's very very passionate about identifying what's new happening, what are the gaps in the market, what's new happening in India, globally, okay, and figure out what is the best solution that we can offer him. So I when we discuss, we talk about these are the problems, these are gaps which are currently executing it. He's very quick to figure out this could be a possible solution, and then we brainstorm and we kind of design and develop product for ourselves. And that's been our key all the while. So because of the complementary skill sets, he takes care of all the research and development, new product ideation and everything. I'm the person who is take that product into the market, and with the help of our sales and marketing team through our distribution network, we kind of take the solutions to the market, and that's how we have been able to build up a very very successful brands in the country. Also, I would say we have a very very passionate and young team, and that's been our strength. I take great pride in sharing that almost 70% of my internal field force, when I'm talking about field force, and at the managerial cadre, we have people who have grown internally within the organization, and that's biggest what is the satisfaction that I draw out of all this. Because when we launched it, right, in our very first meeting, there was a promise which we made to our people that whenever there's an opportunity, we'll make sure that our internal people gets the first benefit, or they are considered first as compared to talent from outside. And thankfully, through their journey, we were able to kind of mold them, bring them to such a level that they are able to take higher responsibilities. So that's the biggest strength which I draw from this is the team has grown within the organization at every single functional department. If you see, we have people who have stood with the organization right from inception till date. And that really gives us a lot of satisfaction. So that's been our major success, that a very very strong stable team who has grown with the organization, and that gives us immense satisfaction. So overall, a very very strong management team, a very very passionate team down on the field to execute the idea, along with proper systems and policies, which really helps us to have a better control over the overall operations, with new product ideation, as well as fine tuning and adaptability to the changing trends of the market, has really helped us in ensuring a fast growth pace for the organization. At the same time, I would also say that during this testing times of COVID, as an organization, we could stand very firmly, and we could take care of every stakeholders of the company, and we could really, sustain the testing times, and we could really, stay afloat, and the organization continued to grow. Nevertheless, as last year was a bad year for everyone and for
Yeah.
us as well, but that being an exception, I think the most critical thing that I look at is we could stay afloat, and we could really, take care of every stakeholder of the organization. So that's my take on the part. Thank you.
Beautiful, so beautiful. Um, now I have this very intriguing question, and I ask to most of people who are there, who are majorly co-founders, who have business partners with them. And my major question comes in that how do you guys brainstorm when you are just starting the company? Because like talking about your case, you were not in touch with Ajit sir for a while, for a couple of years,
7 years.
and
7 years, only
7 years.
7 to 8 years, we were not at all in touch. We have not even spoken once.
Now then rejoining after 7 to 8 years and talking and coming up with this idea of Adroit, brainstorming, starting the company, growing it together, and still growing exponentially. So what's the ideation behind brainstorming? What's your thought process, and have you guys come down to a conclusion? Because this is not, I personally feel that this is not just limited to entrepreneurship, even in personal relationship, as friendships, maybe life relationships, and also in community, in communication with people around you. Whenever you have a discussion, you need to understand the other person's mindset, and for understanding that, you need to understand the way of communication also, because then you don't want other person to feel bad, but you also want to put your point and say that okay, I may disagree with you, but I don't disrespect your point. So what's your ideation on brainstorming, and how you guys come out on a conclusion?
See, it's more to do about trust, you know.
Hmm.
So in our case, specifically between me and Vivek, there is a very, very strong cohesive bond. We trust each other. In fact, if you look at, we are two different individual, two different personalities. Okay,
Hmm.
between me and Ajay, if he's east, I'm west. If he's north, I'm south. Even right from our eating habits, okay, to what likes, dislikes, it's altogether different. But as I said, there's a very, very strong bond, and there is a very, very strong trust factor between us.
Hmm.
We believe in this principle, enjoy the similarities, respect the differences. So we
Hmm.
always enjoy the similarities where we always respect the differences that we have between each other, and that's been the key strength of ours, wherein, there's a very thin line where you actually at some times it just happens so that you cross the line and you hurt somebody,
Hmm.
you know
True.
so with if we follow this to the T. We enjoy the similarities, we respect the differences. That's been in the key. Now coming back to the point where you asked about what's our idea of brainstorming. I would say we eat, live life of Adroit, right from morning till end of the day, till the time we go to bed, and even though we are fasting asleep, uh, there are thoughts which keeps happening in. Okay,
Hmm.
so this brainstorming ideation happens throughout. There have been instances where, I was taking shower, I came out of the shower, and I called up Ajit and said, hey, this is what I'm thinking about. So it's a continuous process. So if there is a
Hmm.
thought or an idea, which we have to work upon, it's 24 by 7. So somewhat I would say it's come into a muscle memory.
Hmm.
So you live and you enjoy. Ultimately, if you enjoy the work that you do, you never feel stressed about, or you don't look at your watch and you see, oh boss, I worked for 8 hours, 10 hours. It's a continuous process. So it's fun. We are never at work, we are at fun place.
Great, great, great. True, because if you don't have trust, then also there's I feel that if you don't have trust, then also you tend to shorten the boundary of getting hurt. You tend to hurt yourself more rather than the other person's intent of hurting you, I feel.
Absolutely.
So like when you have that trust, you also understand that okay, even if I push my line, a little ahead. I don't think that the other person is intending to hurt me, and I can have that leap of faith, that of maybe understanding something which I might be missing out, and by thinking that okay, this person is hurting me and I should feel bad about it.
Right. True. True.
So now, going ahead with this ideation of entrepreneurship, is another part which I ask is about team building. You mentioned it, that you have grown with your team. Your team has, you made such atmosphere that your team was capable enough to learn things, and then they were capable enough to catch up the higher positions in your company. So, what was that whole concept of training the team so that they become capable enough to go and have and manage the higher positions?
So as I said, we have a very passionate team. You know, so our company's tagline is passion to perform. Right from day one, once we induct somebody into the organization, the objective of the organization is made very clear to them. And at the same time, the systems and processes are being taught to them. We try and make efforts to train them on the product part, on the soft skill aspects. So that's a part and continuous part and parcel of the game. But most important thing, it's a conducive work atmosphere that we are able to build up. Has been responsible in attracting good talent, retaining the talent, and helping them grow. So most important thing, and I strongly believe that the organization will only grow when your people grow. So therefore, as a what do you say, leader, or as a person who is spearheading the organizational operations, I we always feel that it is very very important to ensure that the team is growing. So that's how we have designed the KRAs and the KPIs, which make sure that every team person understands it. We have also created a very lucrative incentive model where people are able to earn more money in addition to their salary. So this helps in building up a cohesive work environment, which in turn motivates the people to take the baton into the market and generate business for the organization.
Beautiful, so beautiful. Um, Now, coming to the entrepreneurial aspect of it, where I would again like to continue the talk we had initially, that we are seeing a new trend in Indian youths where they are like, uh, everyone is more passionate about entrepreneurship. We will start and we will do entrepreneurship. So, from your own journey of creating Adroit, and the positive aspects, which we said that if you want to become an entrepreneur, you need to have an innovative approach. You need to have innovative business model. You need to have an idea and a solution to the problem which you have understood, and also you should have the passion and perseverance to dedicate 999 days to your idea, to your venture, to make it work and make it successful. Other than that, what all different aspects would you, or solutions would you provide from your own personal journey, or tips to the Indian entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, if they want to be as big as Adroit?
I would say, it's perseverance and passion, and I'm a strong believer of these two words.
Hmm.
Honestly, it happens so in an entrepreneurial journey. When you embark this journey of entrepreneurship,
Hmm.
there will be a lot of turbulence, you know and one, it's the passion which helps you take this path of entrepreneurship, and I would say it's the perseverance which helps you keep you grounded and keeps you motivated
Hmm.
about this idea of passion. So
Hmm.
unless and until you have this passion followed by perseverance, you will not be able to be a successful entrepreneur. You
Hmm.
will tend to give up sooner or later. And as I said, that it's
Hmm.
99 days, come
True.
what may, no, any venture that you get into. You have to devote your blood and sweat for the venture.
True.
These are the
True.
testing times.
100%.
And unless and until you kind of, follow this to the T, you will not be a successful entrepreneur. Now, one step before getting into entrepreneurship. Now, what is required to be a successful entrepreneur? Okay, as I kept speaking about passion and perseverance, that's the key. But what will actually help you give confidence to be passionate about your venture and your perseverance about the venture? And I would say it's the experience and the exposure. So these are other two words which I would strongly be suggesting to the young entrepreneur, that you first of all you need to have a very solid experience of the sector that you're trying to get into.
Hmm.
Unless and until you have experience of the sector, nevertheless you might have a beautiful business model, you will not be able to execute it to the perfection so that you get the best out of it.
Hmm.
Second point, exposure. If you don't have sufficient exposure of the sector, you will tend to hit roadblocks time and again. So there are few obvious solutions I'm sure you would be able to come up with, but you might not be able to visualize it because you lack experience and exposure of that sector.
Hmm.
So my suggestion to all the budding entrepreneurs would be, hey, it's good to be passionate, but please try and ask yourself a relevant question, whether do I have a relevant experience and exposure of the sector which I'm trying to get into? If the answer is yes, I
True.
am sure with passion and perseverance, you will be able to make it big. If the answer is no, my suggestion would be take a pause, go back to the drawing board, get all the relevant experience from wherever you might be able to get it. Speak to the stalwarts of those industry who has the relevant exposure of the sector.
Hmm.
Have those experience and exposure which will give you that confidence to make it really big. And yes, passion and perseverance, like those are two words which you have to breathe till the last what do you say, till the end of your life to be a successful entrepreneur. Yeah.
So, telling about passion and perseverance, like I'm doing this podcasting journey since more than a year now, and the my most of guests whom I like initially in initial days I used to call all my guests. I used to mail them, message them, DM them everywhere. Until now, like I have received more than 3,000 rejections, and from there I've come to learn is that uh, what happened with me is when I got my first ever guest, Mr. Rojas Rawal, and I got him in just one DM. I just DM'd him on Instagram, and he was like, "Okay, we can do it." And I was so happy that okay, in first DM I got this big personality, so like अब तो सब मुझे हाँ बोलेंगे. And then I started messaging and DMing everyone and on every platform, and they're like, not seen, seen but not replied, no, maybe next time, I'm a little bit busy, and all those kind of no's. And I was like, why am I getting these kind of no's? And then I came to understand that okay, I got this first click was because I was to the point, because I started understanding the way I was messaging them. And messaging them is one of the major process of the kind of work I do, that is podcasting, bringing guests on the show. So I started understanding that, and like relating it to the entrepreneurial world is the kind of process you do backhand for making your product, or creating valuable services which you provide, the backhand part of it. And that is one of the, I would say, that is backbone for the kind of brand or the kind of venture you are creating. And then after receiving this many rejection, I tried and improved myself, and one of the major thing I back got back as a positive outlook from my guest was that I was very perseverant. Like I had this guest, Mr. Divyanshu Damani. He is co-founder of Tag Mango. I messaged him 1 or 2 months back that hello sir, I want to do a podcast with you, will you come and all that. And he said yes, we'll do it, but right now I'm a little bit busy, we'll schedule it later. Then there was no reply from him. So I started messaging him again. Hey sir, you said we'll be doing it. When are we doing it? When are you available and all that? And at the end, when we were having this podcast, at the end I was like, sir, what are your suggestions for me? Because I was starting at that time, and he said that he gave few suggestion, and also he was like, Jay, I love one thing about is that you were persistent about messaging. You were consistently messaging me even though I was not replying and all that. And from there I realized that for you to stick to something, let it be your passion. For you to stick to your passion, you need to be persistent, because persistence will not only make you more and more better in terms of skill set you have, it will also make you better in terms of understanding the overall aspect of it. I was better in skill of messaging people, but I also understand that what kind of people should be relevant for me to have as guest. So it also helped me in understanding the market, say, for my personal brand. And in terms of entrepreneurship, it will help you in understanding market, the kind of product which is required, and also you will learn more about what and how to innovate in your own business model. You may correct me, sir, if I'm wrong.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's perseverance which is the key, and it's because of your perseverance, you could make it really big in such a short period of time. So yes, that holds true
Okay,
for
sir.
all of us.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And going to a major aspect of an entrepreneurship is the financial aspect of it. How much to take risk, and when and how to take risk. These, I feel that one of the major aspect or defining aspect for someone to start their entrepreneurial journey, because even they have to look back to their own personal finances, how much to invest, how much not to invest. So if you could give a general idea for entrepreneurs, if for creating their venture, who are starting, in terms of how to handle their finances.
Okay, so yes, finance definitely is the key, and many a times it happens so that many of entrepreneurs like us, they keep thinking about, or they get dejected by the idea of entrepreneurship purely because of finance, and typically, when majority of us who come from a middle class, upper middle class,
Hmm.
finance is always the key, and thankfully today the gradually things are changing, but way back, for us, we had a friend, angel friend, who believed in our idea and who could support the thought in the early phase of life, and who actually gave us a launch pad, you know
Hmm.
uh, and again, I strongly believe it is because of your character, because of your commitment and your passion and perseverance. That's where your finances can
Hmm.
come from.
True.
Today things are changing. Once you have established your methods, there will be a lot of people to back you up.
Hmm.
But in the initial front, it's your idea, and somewhat I strongly feel that as an entrepreneur, you'll have to figure out your early round of funds.
Hmm.
And again, it's the passion which will help you, maybe get a loan out of from your family to support the thought, build a proof of concept. Because once you have a proof of concept which is established and which makes some business sense, then I'm sure you will have some other venture capital or an angel investor who can back you up, but
Hmm.
till then, the early spend, we will have to look out from the friend and family,
Hmm.
and that's where you go back to history and you see all the big brands which are there today. They
Hmm.
started either from their garage, or they went up to
Yeah.
some friend, they borrowed money from somewhere, parents supported, family supported, friends supported, and they could really get started. So that is something which is very yeah. But today, thankfully, because of the changing environment, there are many platforms from where you can raise your early round of finance, you know
True.
so yes, it all depends on your idea. I know many young entrepreneurs which actually got funded through some institution program, in fact, even I'm a part of organization where we have set up a cell, which actually calls out for projects, and which we are looking out innovation cell as we call it, and which this particular cell, this body of this institute is looking at funding ideas for the students. So a lot of academic institutions are also making
Hmm.
this
True.
effort to kind of build that culture of entrepreneurship. And I'm sure in the next 5 to 10 years of time, you would see that a lot of changes which are happening here. In fact, in the last
True.
4 years, you would have looked at IMC. Almost,
Hmm.
if I'm not wrong, 30 to 40% of people are opting out of placements. They want to start something on their own. And if that's the case, I'm sure you will have companies like any sector you take in, and you will have big brands coming from India.
True, sir, 100%. And one another major aspect I feel about entrepreneurship is networking. Networking not just in terms of you selling your products, networking in terms of you understanding and understanding about the people from your own market and from other markets as well. Like from my own podcasting journey, networking has helped me a lot because my initial guest, the company through which we are meeting, my initial guest from that company was Mr. Agnello Rajesh sir. And from there, because we connected well, we touched on a personal level. From there, the company showed interest in me, and from there, we are getting many more successful people like you on board to have a podcast. And not only just for people who are getting on to have on podcast, like I earlier said before recording this, about Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai sir, how we connected. I approached him on LinkedIn. From there we connected. From there we had our first podcast, and at the end of the podcast he was like, Jay, be in touch with me. And I was glad that he said that, and I was lucky enough to be in touch with him. We had a second podcast, and now we are collaborating in for few events as well. So I think the networking with right people, and networking with people across all markets, not just don't just limit yourself to the people who are helping you in selling your products, but also network with people who are from different markets, so that you can understand the overall aspect of everything. No, I would like to have your say on
Yes,
this.
yes, yes. Both these two names that you took, Mr. Agnello Rajesh. In fact, he also happens to be my mentor. He's a
Oh,
wonderful person. Amazing
true,
story of rag to riches. Okay.
true, sir, true.
A great friend, philosopher, guide, as I call him fondly. In fact, that's one testimony which I also given it to him. While he was building his own website. Amazing. So perfect. And Dr. Radha is again a good friend. Okay, amazing person. So as you rightly said, it's the network which really matters in. And I would like to go one step ahead and say it's your net worth. Net worth is directly proportional to the network of people that are around you.
Hmm. True, true.
So if you really have to grow up in your life, you should have the right set of people. And I read somewhere, I don't recollect which book it was, but I think it's Your Life, Your Legacy by Roger Hamilton, wherein he has said that your sum total of means your network is sum total of five topmost network people
Hmm.
in your surroundings. So it is
True.
very, very important, because when you network with people, you get to understand new ideas, new thoughts,
Hmm.
new ways of doing the same thing.
True,
In
true.
fact, Rajesh sir and me, we are part of a group called Business Opportunity Club, wherein we discuss about each other's business. We discuss about challenges. We discuss about
Wow.
opportunity, and this is a very close group of 20 people where we come up with solutions for the other person business. So that's, again, it's not just a networking place, but it's a wonderful place where we could exchange ideas, because it is very, very important that you have the right set of people around you who can give you ideas and solution which matters to you the most.
Hmm.
So
True.
yes, your net worth is directly proportional to the network of people around you.
100%, sir, 100%. So, coming to the end of this beautiful podcast, I would like to as you mentioned one book, I would like to know more book recommendations from you, and also if you have any personal suggestion to me or young generation of India in general.
So yes, once again, I will strongly recommend this book, Your Life, Your Legacy. You read this book at least three to four times, and every time you read this book, you will have new learnings coming out of it. Okay, so that's my very strong recommendation to all the youngsters. So that's on the book part, and especially for young entrepreneurs like you, follow your passion, dream big, think big, and make yourself capable of reaching to the top of the pinnacle. So dreams will only fly when you give wings to your dream.
Wow.
So follow that. And yes, anytime you feel that I could be of any help, please don't hesitate to reach me out.
Sure, sir.
Okay, either on my LinkedIn or my mail or any mode of
Sure, sir.
communication. Thank you
Sure,
very
sir.
much.
I've already sent a connection request to you on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I have accepted it before the
Arre,
podcast.
arre, thank you,
Thank you
sir.
very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very
So,
much.
how was this podcast from your side?
Oh, this was amazing. Amazing. I really enjoyed talking to you. In fact, as we were talking, I could really once again relive my journey of entrepreneurship, because it was some time that I'm really not given it the thought of what path we have traveled and how time have passed by. But thanks to
True.
you, I could once again relive it, and it was nice to kind of be nostalgic and think of good old days. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It's an honor and pleasure to have you on the show, uh, and surely we'll try to connect and have more conversations. Maybe podcast, maybe not podcast. Maybe I might take some ideas from your.
Certainly, most welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much. Thank you. It's my pleasure. Thank you.